JLB here. Today, I've decided to embark on a pretty lengthy yet crazy idea, so just bear with me here. I'm going to be reviewing every single animated TV show that ever came into existence. And why don't we start at the birth of TV in the 1940s? What, you think TV was born in the 50s? Wrongo. Television was actually born in the late 40s. And 1949 is where we begin our journey. What we're going to have a look at is titled The Adventures of Pow Wow the Indian Boy. Or, as it's officially called, The Adventures of Pow Wow. You see, the show was about a pre-adolescent Native American boy by the name of Pow Wow, who lives in a tribe of Wahoo, in Wahoo Valley. Along there, he has friends like the tribe medicine man and a young Native American girl who is friends with Pow Wow. The plot of the show is basically the same every episode. Pow Wow discovers an animal, either hurt or not, and he attempts to protect the forest and wildlife in Wahoo Valley. And when Pow Wow can't do it alone, he goes to the medicine man for some help. And this show was locally broadcast in New York City on January 30th of 1949 on WNBT-TV, NBC in New York. So it lasted about 15 minutes, and they were broadcasted on Sunday mornings up until March 13th of 1949, just a couple months after Pow Wow made his debut. Of course, they will reappear on the Captain Kangaroo show during the 50s, more specifically in 1956, when Captain Kangaroo was on the air. And if you don't know who Captain Kangaroo is, how about you ask your parents or your grandparents? Anyway, the show was syndicated by distributor Screen Gems. It was written by Ben Hardaway, directed by Sam Singer, presented by Leo and Walter Minskoff brothers, and the composer of the theme song was Monty Kelly. The executive producer was Leo Marcus, and the company that produced Pow Wow was Tempeh Tunes. And as for Screen Gems, they're still around today. They're a production and film studio that's actually part of Sony. So, basically we have Sony to thank for keeping the legacy of Pow Wow intact. Now, as stated, Captain Kangaroo had Pow Wow as part of its programming as a series of 5-minute episodes up until 1958. And then the cartoons were once again syndicated and appeared locally in New York and in Chicago. But after the 50s, I think Pow Wow was forgotten, like all other cartoon characters back in the day who weren't as popular. Now, while Pow Wow may actually be in Wasteland, his legacy still lives on because he was the very first animated cartoon to be broadcast on television. Not to mention, he was the very first children's program that was ever released to the public on television. But unfortunately, like I said, Pow Wow is unfortunately forgotten these days. But if you have any grandparents who actually remember waking up on Sunday mornings, or whenever Pow Wow was put out on a day other than Sunday, and they remember watching the show, well, I think it would be worth it for them to revisit the show. But as for newer audiences, well, it all depends if you like characters that don't really talk on their own, because the narrator mostly does all the talking for the characters. But anyway, the show only ran for about 3 seasons, I think. Until it was unfortunately canceled. But, like I said, even though Pow Wow is in Wasteland now, he still lives on in the memories of some who actually saw his adventures in Wahoo Valley. All for joining in our first episode through the history of animation. Animated TV, that is. And I definitely hope you stick around, because we're going to be going through quite a few more. And I'm going to be singling out specific Halloween episodes as the show goes on. So you'll have to be patient with that. And oh, before I go, I just want to say, Spirit Halloween is getting in a brand new animatronic. Why do you ask? Why do I say? Because, well, I love Halloween, first of all. And, well, let's just say Spirit Halloween is the go-to place for Halloween decorations. The show is officially yet unofficially brought to you by Spirit Halloween, your one-stop shop for every Halloween need. Costumes, makeup, animatronics, decorations. You want it, they got it. Spirit Halloween. Putting the spirit in fun for everyone. With that faux public announcement out of the way, good night everyone, and, well, happy early Halloween.